let's be real about Thanos.
Really?
It's going down this weekend.
Yes,
man.
it is.
Going down this weekend. I ain't gonna be able to see it this weekend. I got about 3 weeks before I can go see it.
Gotta stay off social media
Yeah,
Until
definitely.
you see it, I promise y'all.
because I don't want to be in no pack. I don't want to be in the pack theater.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Exactly.
go during the matinee when nobody's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we got to be real though. Like, we being real. Like, how powerful was that Thanos snap? Because I heard like people would like dying and stuff, like falling out once the
Yeah.
snap happened. How'd y'all think about the snap?
I love the whole movie, man, because I read the Infinity War comic series, so I already knew what was going to happen. So just seeing, this Avengers movie, Infinity War, go, past the traditional, hey, the heroes eventually win in the end. It was actually kind of funny. Seeing
was
people.
hilarious.
It was hilarious because there were people, because I went, when Infinity War came out, I went that very weekend. Like, there were people like actually crying.
Yeah.
Because of what happened.
Because of the snap?
Yeah.
You
One of
cried?
us definitely cried.
Who'd you mourn for the most?
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
I will say
I
it
just
was funny when the Hulk got
Man.
straight destroyed in the beginning. It was hilarious. I'm
hilarious.
sorry.
Yeah, what made me mad? The guy from Guardians.
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord,
Yeah,
man.
Star-Lord. Yep.
Man, don't get us started.
But anyway, remember, we are powered by the Binge Podcast Network. Shout out to iHeartMedia and 1019 Kiss FM. You can listen to us on any podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at LBR Sports 901 and join the Facebook group at the Let's Be Real group. All right, starting five back here again. They go down the show topic list today. We got the NBA playoffs.
Of course.
Playoff update going.
Too easy.
Talk about the playoffs? Are you kidding me? After that, we go to the NFL. We talked about Russell Wilson last week. He signed the contract right before we released last week's episode.
Interesting.
So we're going to talk about
Yeah.
that. And the upcoming draft this week in Nashville, which I will be at. And go into college recruiting. We'll give an update on our beloved Memphis Tigers and what's going on in the recruiting game. Then we'll go over our poll question, as most of y'all answered who was the best six man of all time in the NBA.
Y'all tripping on that one.
Then we go to our famous troll or not. So, NBA playoffs. What series are we starting with?
Let's get the boring ones out the way.
We gonna be real.
Let's be real.
Bucks and the Pistons, I presume.
Okay, yeah, that'll be the most boring.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's about to be a sweep. They up 3-0, and it's the time of this recording. They're about to play game 4, which I expect to be 4-0. Before we move on, though, shout out to Eric Bledsoe. He tweeted a couple years ago when he's in Phoenix, I don't want to be here. So, look at him now. Just signed a new contract. He's with the number 1 team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Started point guard, killing. So, shout out to Eric Bledsoe.
It's literally a lion attacking the gazelle for 4 days straight.
When you're in a bad situation, just tweet down, I don't want to be here, and you might get in the blessing like Eric Bledsoe did.
That's true.
You better hope for it.
Well, I can say Blake Griffin, you should probably hope for it too, because he's probably going to get dealt this summer.
And the thing is, he's killing.
Yeah.
He keep getting hurt though.
He's getting hurt, and then of course he's not happy there in Detroit because of where the team's going overall. So he's gonna get dealt this summer. To where, I don't know. That remains to be seen.
Yeah, you literally just took what I was gonna say. I haven't watched a single game of this series, and I think the Bucks have won by an average of like 20 points. So why would I waste my time doing that? I'm really anxious to see what they look like in the next round. Not sure exactly who they would play.
Boston.
They'll play Boston. So I think
Boston.
I think that'll be a good series. So I'm more excited to see that than I was to even see a single game of the Bucks and the Pistons. But like Trevor said, I've heard that Blake Griffin's going to ask for a trade out of Detroit. Sharky also mentioned this too. He always stays hurt, and so with you having a player that's asking for a trade, that's consistently hurt and is making a lot of money, it'll be interesting to see what his value is on the market. So that should be interesting to see.
Yep.
And Blake Griffin is 32 years old, so it'll really be
Wow.
God.
Why
did you say
Wow.
You know I have to bring it in.
We're in
bro.
our prime.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was that old.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. That's not
So it's
old.
like his athleticism is kind of like really diminishing, so his market is kind of going to be.
He's not 32, bro.
He's
No,
32.
he's not 32.
Come on now.
I thought he was at
32.
least 28, 29.
Oh no.
Hold on. No, he's been in the league 10 years. So
They can't
because he was the number one pick in
He
09.
stayed
So
in college 2 years, then he missed his whole first year.
yeah.
I'm sorry. My bad. He's 29.
Okay, all right.
My bad.
I was like, shoot.
I'm looking at so by the end of his contract, he'll be 32.
Okay.
My bad.
I was like,
I know he ain't Mike Conley the same age.
Can't be.
I mean, but still, like, even like in Blake Griffin at 30, even like for next season, like how many people? What y'all think he can be able to do? I know we got to move on, but it's just interesting talking about Blake
his
Griffin.
skill set, he's changed. He's not a dunker like he was anymore. He's killing.
He's actually done more as far as from a facilitating standpoint. I think that's one of the
Definitely
things that Dwayne Casey wanted to emphasize with Blake coming into the season. Was like, we're going to give you the ball, and you're just going to make plays.
He's always had underrated ball handling skills. Too.
Yes.
Like even when he was with the Clippers for sure.
Yeah, and he's actually shooting a lot more threes. He's actually had his career high in 3-point percentage, which is like close to 40%, if I'm not mistaken.
That's good.
Yeah,
All right.
so
That's good.
It'll be interesting to see what Blake Griffin's value is going to be this summer.
All right. And speaking of Boston, that's the next series we're talking about. Boston, Indiana. As we all know, if Oladipo was playing, it'd be a different ball game.
Maybe.
The Pacers play hard. Every game kind of went the same exact way. They played. So Boston actually swept them today. That was at the time of recording. They just swept them this morning or this afternoon. And the last 3 games went like the exact same way. The Pacers like had the lead going to the fourth quarter. It was a close game, and like we said, when Tukey put his trolling on, I was like, Kyrie, they got players who going to score in the end, and that's basically what happened. Kyrie,
If it wasn't
Jason Tatum.
Yeah, if it
Jaylen
wasn't
Brown.
Kyrie, it was Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. This game was actually Gordon Hayward.
So if you have Oladipo that series, they get a couple games. It's actual series.
But the thing is, the reason I made it a troll and all is because like I thought that the better team, like the best team, would have won, and at the time the Celtics weren't looking like a team at all. And I definitely agree with y'all. What y'all was saying, like Kyrie is the closer, so you know what I'm saying. But it was just it was a troll and all.
Yeah.
But they played hard. Shout out to the Pacers. I was trolling that day.
Yeah, I think real quickly, I'll just say I think this was a blessing in disguise for the Celtics. I think for them to be able to get a matchup with the Pacers, let them get the kinks out of it. I think they're still working as a team, but now that you've had good games by Kyrie, you've had good games by, again, today was Gordon Hayward, Tatum went off, Brown went off. So I think that does something for them, for their culture in the locker room.
I think the series that I'm really looking forward to the most besides the championship, so the whole playoffs can be over with. It'll be like this series with the Celtics and the Bucks.
Yeah.
I want to see as a team how good the Celtics can really be, because the Bucks clearly they're the number 1 team in the East for a reason.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see that. All right, next up, Nuggets
2-2.
2-2.
The Nuggets, the Spurs were up by like 12 in the first half of Game 4, and the Nuggets took over from that point forward. I still think they could use the point guard this summer. Mike Conley. They got some pieces sent back to the Grizzlies, but that's still for another day. 2-2. I don't know what to expect. The Spurs, Derek White been killing them, but Game 4 showed me something. The Nuggets may have woke up. So
that was a must-win game, of course, for Denver. You don't want to be down 3-1 going back to Denver in any shape or form. This honestly has been as advertised. Like, a lot of people, I think, were just writing the Spurs off just because they were a 7th seed and how hot Denver has been all season. But a couple of us picked the Spurs to upset Denver. So this, to me, this has been as advertised.
It's been a good one.
Yeah, it's been a good series. Denver winning Game 4 actually really surprised me. I thought with Greg Popovich having a 2-1 series lead, I thought he would have been able to put a stranglehold on the series by going up 3-1, especially at home. But for the Nuggets to come back and win the game actually showed me a lot. So I'm interested. It's going to be interesting to see where this series goes. I think I'll still roll with the Spurs to beat the Nuggets.
How many games?
7.
7 for everybody?
7.
I have the Nuggets winning in 7 though.
7. Okay.
7 games, 7 at home. I don't know. We have to see what happens with DeMar DeRozan. Does he get suspended for throwing that ball to the referee?
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get suspended.
I doubt he does.
He'll get fined.
He'll get a huge fine.
He'll get a huge fine. He won't get suspended.
They don't want them problems in the media.
Exactly. It's the NBA.
I don't think that's the reason he's not going to get suspended, because that's going. Oh boy. They've already kind of taken some kind of hit, and we'll get to the series in a second. But the fight, I guess, quote unquote, with Jimmy Butler and Jared Dudley, for them to both get ejected from the game was a lot and so I think they've already taken an immediate hit from that. So
DeMar
DeRozan getting suspended.
We seeing how sensitive the refs are just as a player. So if you throw a ball at me, if I got the power to throw two players out there fighting each other, you throw a ball at me, I'm suspending you. I'm trying to do as much as I can because I'm offended at one.
Pushing each other, fighting is a big word.
Yeah, you're being physically affecting me and my well-being if I'm a ref. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's true.
I think they're gonna try to get the DeMar game out. But that's just me.
Nah, I wouldn't. I don't think so. But
we'll see.
Yeah.
Next up, Raptors Magic.
I said after the Magic stole game 1, I wouldn't be shocked if Toronto wins out. They won the next 2?
They won the next 2.
So they have game 4 tonight.
Game 4 is.
Why they ever play game 4?
Isn't it tonight?
That's tonight.
I think it's tonight.
Yeah.
No,
game 4 is tonight.
Milwaukee play tonight, and
Raptors Magic tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. TNT.
So Bucks play last. Okay.
Yeah, Bucks play last night.
I got I got those games mixed up.
Yeah.
So, I expect them to win out. Really, it's just they're the better team. I mean, straight up. I saw it was cute. Lando got their first game, but
Sam was cute.
Yep. But I mean, after that, Kyle Lowry has showed up since then, and
he has.
Pascal Siakam,
boy.
I called him most improved player. I called him this year.
It's going to be an issue.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so he won't hurt them too bad when Kawhi Leonard leaves at the end of the season.
You're right. He may win most improved surprisingly again, like next season, because like he'll have more opportunity to do more. Maybe. Who knows? He may be an all-star next season.
That's true.
He knows. Next up, Golden State Clippers. We really should have just got this one out the way.
30 years.
We need to get Took's take on game 2.
You know, obviously it's something with the Warriors and the numbers 3 and 1. So I don't know. It's not too much for me to say.
Bang bang.
It is what it is. I knew the Clippers was gonna get one. You know, money. They, whatever. Shout out to everybody that's working at the Oracle because they get another night to make money. Salute to my man Savage, who know what I'm talking about with the Grizz and everything.
Shout out to Klay Thompson at the interview today after they won game 4 to go 3-1.
Yep.
He was basically talking about Houston. He was like, "Yeah, we need to go ahead and get this done. Get the rest because we see Houston this week."
It was cute. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Patrick Beverly, but shout out to the media most importantly for thinking that Patrick Beverly can stop Kevin Durant. That's all I got to say about that.
That was disrespectful, man. That was disrespectful.
This is why. This is personally
the first round has been relatively boring. So they had to make something.
They got to do something.
Still, something so idiotic as to say that Patrick Beverly, who is a great defender, who was rocking them Air Force One, shout out to him rocking them Air Force One.
No,
Photoshop.
No, I was going to say, you get no shout out for hooping in the middle.
The black ones at that. The all black ones at that.
You get no shout out for that.
It was Photoshop.
Let it take away from them all, but shout out to the world thinking Kevin Durant is being stopped by Patrick Beverly. Like,
and I'll take that a step further. Like, I really love when Kevin Durant gets mad.
Yeah,
he's the best.
Yes.
Like, if people will understand, like the reason Kobe Bryant was my favorite player was because he would get to moments he'd be like, okay, cool, we losing. All right, watch this. And so Kevin Durant, when he sets his mind to it, he ain't just like just going through the motions of the game. When he's like, okay, cool, watch this, or y'all think LeBron's better, watch this, or you think Patrick Beverly can guard me, watch this.
Yeah.
And so all he does is like boom basket, boom basket. Like it's amazing that how he does that. And when he does that, literally he's one of he's my favorite player to watch in the league. And when he gets that way,
and I say he's the best player in the world.
Yeah,
you just need to stay like that.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah. And I can see
a mental war.
Yeah, and I can see how he doesn't do it because I mean you're playing on the team with Steph, Clay, Draymond, like Boogie before he got hurt. So I can understand that, but like this is not the playoffs. Like this is where players are made. This is how people like you get your championship ring. This is how you get your name for yourself. So by him doing that, I just like, man, just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
All right, and then moving on to I guess, go ahead, let me have it, guys. We already know.
I mean, you said they weren't making playoffs, so they already had it already. But they made the playoffs. They're up 3-0 against Utah, and we're about to see a Houston Golden State. But the second round finna be
Ooh, yes it is.
Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, and
Toronto probably.
Yep.
And the league is loving this.
Oh yeah,
the league is loving
this
it.
competitive basketball. So like, come on, y'all.
So we'll get to that series when they get ready to start.
Yeah.
No, but shout out to Kyle Korver. He has some very good, interesting things to say about Donovan Mitchell. Of course, at the end of the game, Donnie had a 3-pointer that he could have hit. and he didn't. So I guess like in order to protect his little brother, he came out and said, you know, he's like for him to be that young, he's never seen anybody lead a team like Donovan Mitchell. So you know, and he had the article in Undisputed too. So he really
I was just about to shout him out for that. Shout out to Kyle Korver for that though.
Also with that series, another team that like they need a point guard that they should have went ahead and trade for Mike Conley.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
I don't want none of their players though. I would much rather go to Denver. They got some pieces that I like.
Yep.
And if y'all go back and watch that Kyle Korver video, make sure y'all tweet us. It's a very particular object in the background that's interesting. So y'all tweet us and let us know what it is. We may give y'all something. They're gonna notice it. Trust me. You know what it is?
I hadn't seen it.
Go watch the video. Y'all
Are you talking about the interview?
The interview. The interview
okay.
video. When just look up, I guess, Kyle Korver, Donovan Mitchell. It'll come up.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
All right. So next up, Philly.
Trust the process. Trust the process. I love, man, this series is exciting. All these.
This has
Jared
been
Dudley,
yes.
shout out to him for starting stuff. Starting talking about Ben
Up,
Simmons.
like
He had about the 3-pointer, man. Ben Simmons. Then the next game, he hit the 3-pointer. He did the same thing. Put his arms out.
This has been probably the most entertaining series in this entire playoffs.
Man.
And
Game 4 was crazy.
great. Yes, game 4 was an event. It wasn't even a game. It was an event. Just the two teams going back and forth. Of course, the quote-unquote fight.
Yeah, how you feel about Jimmy getting kicked out?
He shouldn't got him or Jared Dudley shouldn't got kicked out. It was pushing.
Yeah,
pushing.
pushing.
Heck, even that foul. Now Joe Embiid, that was a flagrant 1 or even possibly the flagrant 2 back in game 2 when he hit Jared Dudley.
Jared Allen with the elbow.
Jared Allen, yeah. Now that game, that really wasn't a flagrant 1 to me.
Nah.
But I mean, I think just the hostility of the series, the referees had to do something. Both Jared Dudley and Jimmy Butler got fined today.
How much?
$25K for Jared Dudley, 15
for Jimmy.
Chump change.
It's chump change for them.
Yeah.
Chump change.
Joe Embiid did make a reference to the Warriors about the 3-1 thing in the press conference.
Of course he would.
It's Joel Embiid, of course.
Out loud though.
Yeah.
Yeah. My takeaways from it, Joel Embiid is a monster when he's healthy.
When he's healthy,
Like,
yes, he is.
like I've watched him play, but you see his worth like when he's on the floor versus when he's not. Again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The man is unreal, but also so is Ben Simmons. I think people have kind of like been worried about, oh, well, Ben Simmons, this is what, 3rd year in the league. Like, he hadn't developed a jumper. Yes, his second year, quote unquote, but his 3rd year.
Second year playing.
But people are saying, oh, well, I mean, I don't know about Ben Simmons has put on the show since then.
Yes.
Like, he has been unstoppable. I mean, you can say he's average at best when he's in the half court, but that means, I mean, if you're gonna say that, but then stop him when he's in the fast break, at least do that much.
I saw a half court play. This man is playing all the way off from him, and he still got to the hole and hit the window.
Yep.
I mean,
Before we move on, let me ask y'all this quickly. Why is it do y'all think that we put so much emphasis on the rookies, first year, second year players on having a jump shot?
I think it's the nature of the game today.
I think it's just the game today.
Yeah, you almost got. I mean, to survive in the league in this time and period, like, you have to have a jumper. Like, you can't not have a jumper unless
you're
you
alone, like Ben Simmons and Giannis.
Yeah, you better be able to do something else really, really well. And if you can't
what
do
if
that,
that's play defense?
I mean, then you
can beat Pat Beverly.
Yeah, you can beat Pat Beverly. Or
Tony Allen.
Yeah. But even still, I mean, there was still pressure on Pat Beverly to get a jump shot.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, as good as your defense is, you can play defense all day, but I mean, you have to at some point to stay on the floor. You gotta be able to hit a jump shot.
If you're open in the corner, I expect you to be able to knock down that
and
three.
there's the reason why Tony Allen is not in the league right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know he's kind of older, but he still could be in there if he had a jumper.
All right, and last but not least, Damon Russ.
Amazing.
Let's go.
I love it.
Damian Lillard.
This has been great, man.
I love it.
I love it.
So who starts? I mean, like who?
I mean, actually, yeah, Charles, you go first. You did tweet that. Let's be real. Yeah, you did. Let's be real. I don't want you coming back off of this.
No, I'm not coming back because everything I've said about the Thunder this entire season has come to rear its ugly head these first 3 games. I've said the Thunder need 3-point shooting. through the first 2 games, we shot 10 of 60.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my God.
10 of 60 from 3.
For the 4 of us could do 10 for 60.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Of course, game 1, Paul George had struggles. I still think that
It's his shoulder.
his shoulders. I think the shoulder
think
pain
it's
may
really,
be.
really
Is it like the
bothering.
Joey Embiid knee? Like,
I don't know. I think it could actually be that. I mean, he's saying now that it's feeling better. I couldn't tell. I mean, he had a decent game. He had a good game too, but we were blown out
Bad
before.
game 3.
And then he had a bad game 3.
it might be that like one day it feels good.
The other day-
Embiid going the same thing.
Yeah,
One
so
day it feels
I'm
good.
interested to see like just to the nature of this shoulder injury. Russ and Dame going at it has been hilarious. Russ, of course, damn near giving me a stroke every day every time he shoots a 3 early in the shot clock.
That's Russell.
Yeah, that's Russ for you.
He made Damian Lillard go off for 25 in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, yes.
That bothers me about ESPN. Like
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but ESPN bothered me with that about how Russell Westbrook just gave Dame Lillard buckets all game. I'm just like,
Like
Dame Lillard had a 30 piece. Like he put up 20 in the quarter. So
he had 25. He had 25 in the
Let's not act like
Yeah.
Dame Lillard just showed,
Yeah.
like didn't show up like Kyle Lowry.
And then they showed that he had 25 in the quarter, but they don't show like one highlight.
Yeah.
ESPN kills.
ESPN kills. Yeah.
If y'all listening to me, you're gonna stop watching ESPN at some point. Mark my words.
For real.
Mark my words. That's how I am. I haven't watched. If it's not for a game, if it's like for highlights or if it's like to hear analysts, I'm not watching
Yeah.
ESPN.
I stopped really trusting ESPN when that James Wiseman thing happened with the pictures. All my hope for ESPN just completely fell.
Yeah.
The fact that they still bring up LeBron in the playoffs. I mean, he ain't even in the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Shut up.
they didn't show the Jordan Brand Classic.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what bothered me.
Come on,
That's what
man.
bothered me.
What they showing instead? Baseball?
No, they showed the playoffs.
It was the
I don't know
playoffs.
what they showed on ESPN too. I don't know what they showed.
But they could have showed the Jordan Brand Classic. But just to get back to this series, I am proud of Billy Donovan and the adjustments he made in Game 3.
Finally.
With him switching Steven Adams. I know, finally. With him with switching Steven Adams and Jeremy Grant to allow Jeremy Grant to guard Enes Kanter so that we're being able to switch on the pick and rolls more because we were getting eaten alive on those pick and rolls. Like it's like every time you look up, Dame and CJ was running pick and roll. They're either getting to the rim or they're just destroying us for 3. How, from the Thunder standpoint, how far we're gonna go is definitely gonna rely on Paul George. So if his shoulder is as well as he says it is, then we're gonna need him. I don't need him to be playoff P. I need him to be Indiana Pacers Paul George.
I'll stop you right there. Y'all saw that picture with Drake with that Damian Lillard jersey. Y'all won the series.
Can I say this real quick? That brought me to my point. So prediction: the Thunder gonna win out or they gonna win in 7 because of that Drake picture.
I hope not.
Man, I
That
hope
Drake
not.
picture.
I hope
The
not.
Thunder gonna win
I saw
out.
that picture.
I'm going
Need
Thunder.
the curse to get broken.
I'm
Nah,
going
that
Thunder.
was-
really
that was
is.
bad news. I hope
I
it
really
was
is.
outside
I have
the
another
jersey.
poll question coming out about the curse.
I'll be
breaking
bold.
Go for it.
I'll be bold and I'll go Thunder in 6.
Thunder.
Oh, so now
I'll be bold.
Hey, y'all know when the base got
I
traded
said
because
Thunder
it's a
in
wrap.
6. You got the Thunder winning the next 4.
Yeah, I said
They've
they
done it
gonna win
before.
out Or they gonna
They've
win.
done it
That we are recording.
as they're playing game, getting ready to play game 4.
By the time this episode get released,
We'll know what's up.
This will be interesting. It'll be interesting. My just big takeaway from it is Dame Lillard. Like, I mean, I've seen him do this time and time again. But the fact that he's doing this with Russell Westbrook guarding him just says a lot. Like,
Yes.
we talk about top point guards. We talk about Kyrie. We talk about Ben Simmons. We talk about Russell Westbrook. But not too many times people mention Dame Lillard. And we need to start really recognizing. We need to start putting him on game for. We got to start recognizing him because Logo Dame is like, is that the nickname? Like Logo Dame, like he's literally shooting from the logo, like in rhythm. So we got to start giving him some love. Is my biggest takeaway from him.
I gotta say what's
obviously.
up to my brother because he's been putting me on Dame Lillard for a couple years now, and every time I say who's the best point guard, he goes Dame Lillard. And really, like, I'm just starting to see, like, now kind of I'm not gonna say he's the best point guard in the league, but he can make an argument.
Yeah,
he can
definitely.
really make an argument.
Here's my question: do you think with the Trailblazers not being able to add pieces around him, do you think that hurts Dame's case as being one of the top point guards? in the
It
league?
hurts because if you put Steph Curry on the Blazers, they'll be great, but I don't think they'd be championship worthy. If you put Dame Lillard on the same Warriors team, they definitely win the championship. So I think it does play a role in the front office, and again, make sure your talent is surrounded by talent. Shout out CJ McCollum.
Yeah, CJ not scoring. Shout out to CJ.
As far as like you need another star player, and you definitely need role players to know their job. And the Blazers hadn't done a good job with surrounding Dame with that.
They had a couple years ago. They had the team.
Yeah,
they did.
Wes Matthews tore his Achilles.
Yep.
Marcus Aldridge left in free agency.
Yep.
Because they traded him Nicholas Batum.
Honestly,
No, they ain't trading Nick Batum.
That was their chance. That was their chance, and now I honestly don't think they'll get that chance again. Honestly,
especially in the West.
Especially in the West.
I think if they lose the series, they break those two up.
They got to.
You have to.
Should have done last year. Should have done last year.
It was.
I mean, but at this point, like Dame's value is just steadily going up. Like even if they do, well, y'all think it'll hurt if the Thunder sweep them for the rest? Like Dame's value?
No. Value.
Okay.
No.
But I actually want to answer Trevor's point. I just think if Dame Lillard was on a bigger stage. Seriously, I literally think that's all it is. I say that, and I really wholeheartedly mean that. Like sometimes for players to get recognition, I don't care how good you are. Sometimes you just got to be put on the right stage. You got to be put in the right place at the right time. Let's just say he does this for the Knicks. Let's say he does this for the Lakers or whoever the case may be. Like if you put Dame Lillard on the stage like that, now you like instead of Dame Lillard being 5 on your list of type point guards right now, now he's at 2, now he's at 3. Like I literally think that's all that he is. But how many times people watch the Trailblazers a year?
It's true.
Exactly.
Facts.
That happened. He's gonna definitely be the best rapper in the league.
That's not even a debate. So shout out to Dame.
All right, so with Russ and Dame going at it, it's kind of like they got like this little rivalry going on. So I wanted to ask y'all, like growing up, what was y'all's biggest rivalry or favorite rivalry? Mine would be actually D Wade and LeBron. Like when LeBron was playing with the Cavs and D Wade was playing with the Heat, they used to clash, and I used to just really love seeing them. They were best friends, of course, but they were killing each other on the court, and I used to love seeing that kind of competitive basketball. So that'll be mine.
For me, Kobe didn't have too many rivalries when he was with the Lakers. He always played somebody different every single year. Mine would definitely have to be Paul George and LeBron. Like that was
good too.
That was a rivalry. Just like you hoped and prayed that they somehow met up. And Paul George, if you really go back and look at the highlights, a lot of times he gave LeBron some buckets, and he actually clamped him up a couple of times too. So that was one series when LeBron was in Miami. That when the Heat and the Pacers met up, that was a rivalry that I love to see.
Well, I'll be the one to disagree with you there on the Kobe debate. And my favorite rivalry I used to watch was Tracy and Kobe.
Yeah.
When those two stepped on the court, like they literally went out there and tried to annihilate each other.
That's true.
And this is not just on one instance. This is when Tracy was with Orlando's, when Tracy was with Houston, all the way up to when Tracy, whatever was left with him when he was with Detroit. So, but it's a shame that we never got that playoff matchup with these two, because we would have gotten it in 2009, I believe, had Tracy stayed healthy. Stayed healthy.
I mean, it was a good rivalry, but you never too many times saw that in the playoffs, so that's why I didn't bring that one up.
Yeah, so that was mine.
I can't really think of one growing up, but recently, well, not too recent, but Zebo and Blake Griffin.
I was waiting on somebody to say it. I was waiting on somebody to say it. Yes.
Zach Randolph and Blake Griffin. That was playoff series, the Grizzlies Clippers, man.
Those are awesome, man.
Some good times. I give an asterisk though to LeBron and Kobe. Like when LeBron was with the Cavs and Kobe was with the Lakers, of course. But if we would have seen them in the NBA Finals, I think that would have been one of the best
I pray that happened, and I hate that it never did. I pray that happened, never did.
Never happened.
Shout out to LeBron for not pulling his end of the deal.
Shout out to the NBA for not allowing LeBron to pull his end of the deal.
No. Shout out to LeBron. Shout out to LeBron.
I'm playing.
No, they could have gave us their matchup in 09.
Almost came out again.
They could have gave us their matchup in 09, man. Stop playing.
I mean, it is what it is.
That's true. I forgot about that. There you go.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
Anyway. All right, before we move on to NFL, Boogie Cousins tore his quad, and he's out for the season. That's what your feelings about. I don't think it hurts Golden State, really, but it's, for him, I hate it for him.
If Kevin Durant wasn't Kevin Durant, I'd be kind of nervous right now because I feel like they're gonna in the NBA Finals. They're either gonna go against Joel Embiid or Marc Gasol, or you know what I'm saying, Serge Ibaka, Siakam, whatever, and they're gonna need like you know what I'm saying, a good, decent big man.
Shout out,
you know what I'm saying, a good decent big man. But because like I said, Andrew Bogut's here, so I think that kind of helps. But I'd be nervous just to see what happens.
Yeah, and you just touched a point on it. It makes the Andrew Bogut signing make that much more sense now because it's now the Warriors don't miss a beat with this, and I honestly feel that they, no disrespect to Boogie at all, I honestly think they're actually better off without Boogie.
I can see it.
Just with the way how the style of playing it there
for the Houston series particularly.
Yeah, because I think he's not going to be. Yeah,
it won't be as fake. Yeah,
exactly.
For defense purposes, at least.
I still think they'll be fine. Weirdly enough, the takeaway that I took from it is just again how light years ahead that the Warriors front office is. Like it's like they don't make too many bad signings. So when I saw that they were signing Andrew Bogut, I'm like, why they need Andrew Bogut?
Mm-hmm. There we go.
And then you see DeMarcus Cousins get hurt, you like, dang, that's why they went to get Andrew Bogut. Like, exactly. If there's one thing that you have to appreciate the Warriors for, it's their ability to see things before they happen sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just that signing, just like you questioned it, but it's good that they had that signing. And now you just like, you kind of hate it for Boogie because now you're going to see, like we've already said, like it's really him getting hurt. It's really not too much of a big factor. And so now teams going to look at it like, I mean, you want this money, but I mean, the Warriors. I mean, and let's just say they win a championship. The Warriors still won a championship without you. It's not like they sneezed and they were in trouble without you. Like they still good. Mm-hmm. So now he's just gonna be wanting this money. He's like, dang, like I don't know if he's gonna get it. He's gonna get signed by somebody, but I don't think he'll get the money that he's looking for.
You're not gonna. I wouldn't give him the max.
You don't give him anything close to the max.
Yeah, this is his second like major injury in back-to-back years. Yeah, I wouldn't touch him.
At the same time, though, Jesus is with the Warriors. Happy Easter.
It is Resurrection Sunday, so hey.
And Jesus is with Russell Wilson also.
Perfect.
Go to the NFL. Yes, what's the contract looking like that he just signed? Man. While he was sitting in the bed in Sierra.
Just chilling in the bed. So 4-year, $140 million extension.
How much of that was guaranteed?
$65
million.
How come every single contract is the most in NFL history?
Because NFL players don't. I mean, because NFL front offices don't play their players.
It depends. They do it in two different ways. They look at it as how much guarantee money is in it, or how much it is long term. So that's how you always hear like it's the biggest contract in NFL history because it's one of those two that's being taught. Yeah. So and then everybody is. I mean, because different teams are going to want to make sure they keep their top players, so they're going to pay even if it's out of their pocket and they can't afford it. But still, if you want to keep Russell Wilson on your team, if you want to keep Aaron Rodgers on your team, you may not want to pay the money, but you got to in order so you don't lose them. So,
and I think a lot of reasons like Russell may have just set the standard because more than half of his money is like a signing bonus. So it's just a simple fact of if I'm able to pay you all of this as a signing bonus, then the calorie space is pretty low. So I get an all-star for relatively kind of cheap, but in a way not really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's going to be and to that point, it's funny that you say that. It's going to be very, very soon where there's going to be a time where somebody gets a fully guaranteed contract in the NFL.
Well, someone else.
Yeah, it's going to be
one of our cousins had one last year.
His was fully guaranteed?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
All 84 million?
I think it was all 84, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
So it'll be a larger one, like $100 million contract.
Yeah.
Guarantee, yeah.
It's coming.
Moving on with that, the NFL draft is this weekend in Nashville.
Shout out to Shaka who'll be in attendance on that day.
I'm going to try to join you, bro. I'm going to try to join you.
Tighten up.
You got your tying gear on?
Yep. Now I might have to wear some Memphis gear because Memphis Nashville rivalry. I mean that beef is just getting too real.
That's the only reason I hate that the draft is in Nashville. That's the only reason I hate the draft is in Nashville.
Shout out to Titans, but I need to put on some Memphis.
I may rock this Memphis East hoodie because people know what this East stand for.
Man, I have like a tight hat with a Memphis shirt or something. I'm having some Memphis stuff.
No, you can't be combining both like that.
No, Titans.
Just straight Memphis, dude.
Titans my team.
Okay, I get it. No. Remember Nashville, for God so loved Memphis, man. Remember that.
John 3:16.
Yep. Anyway, for this draft, what do y'all? So I know we pretty much know who's the number one pick going to be. Kyler Murray.
Easily.
Josh Rosen's getting frustrated.
Let me say this. Sorry, Sharky, to cut you off. I said this a couple months ago. If the Arizona Cardinals draft Kyler Murray, their entire front office needs to be fired.
I still disagree with
No. They need to be fired because why pick up Josh Rosen right? You picked him up last year. To now you got a new offensive. If you got Cliff Kingsbury, who's supposed to be this offensive guru, right? So then why not see how their relationship works? And if it does not work, then you now have an NFL draft next year that has way more better quarterbacks than this year does.
Because now you get to see what both quarterbacks can be like. And the weaker one, you get to trade for, I think, the value that
just use that pick on a defensive player.
Trade him, Josh Rosen before.
Use that pick on a defensive player. Like, I mean, for me, like Nick Bosa, I think is Nick Bosa. Yeah. Like,
I think, but you can. I think that there's a time that the Cardinals think that we can use this number one pick for another all-time quarterback that they think.
Yeah, it's Cliff Kingsbury written all over it.
Yeah, that's all what
Kyler
it
Murray
is.
in college. He thinks Kyler Murray could be a
and if he that's just something I wouldn't do.
He think Kyler Murray is going to be that quarterback for the future. So why not use Rosen, a former number one pick who has a lot of value? Only reason he's not playing is because of the system. They can possibly get a first round pick next season for Rosen.
Yeah, but
that'll be nice.
Yeah, so then why not use that quarterback? Why not use that pick on a quarterback next year? If
why wouldn't you already got Kyler Murray?
I mean, they love Kyler Murray.
Yeah, if they know for sure that Kyler Murray is their future,
they love.
Let's draft him. Let's have them compete in training camp, and the rest.
I guess the reason I can't wrap my head around this because that's just something I wouldn't do. That's just me personally.
Something you wouldn't do, is it something new?
No, it's just something literally I just would not do.
Literally one of them.
The defensive, it's so many really good defensive players in this draft. Like Quentin Williams is great. Like Nick Bosa is good. Like it's a lot of defensive players in this draft. So why not go grab one of those? If Cliff Kingsbury is that good, if he's the reason why you brought him in, then if Josh Rosen doesn't work, would you try to work through that situation? If they don't work, then Trevor Lawrence next year. Then Tua Tagovailoa. Boy, I got that one.
Lawrence not coming out next year. He'd just be a sophomore.
Jake Fromm is coming out.
Drake Fromm.
Maybe they see something in Kyler Murray. They see something in Kyler Murray.
It's basically with this situation it's that debate versus team need versus best available.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so
I mean, I love Kyler Murray, but the best available is Nick Bosa.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
now, best available quarterback is Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Well, I still would disagree with that.
What do the Steelers need?
The Steelers. The two big things that I would want. There's only two players that I want. Not even, I don't think we need a running back. Honestly,
a wide receiver.
Nah, I don't think we need a wide receiver. I don't think we need a quarterback yet.
I'm just being
not yet. Not yet.
There are only two players in the first round that I want. Only two, and if it's not one of these two players, I'm going to be very upset. Greedy Williams from LSU. Cornerback. God Lord. Artie Burns is trash. He needs to be. He's over and done with.
Sorry,
the only good corner we have is Joe Hayden. That's it. So I want either Greedy Williams or I want Devin White, the linebacker from LSU. Those are the only two players that I want. And really, and I know the Steelers aren't going to do this, but if you see that they're going to be taken before they get to you, you need to trade up to get them. Because you haven't been able to replace the Ryan Shazier yet, and you ain't had a good corner since you haven't drafted a good corner in years. Exactly. And the only good corner you have now is somebody drafted through free agency 2 years ago. And if you know that's your Achilles heel every single year, why not address it? So those are the two players I think the Steelers should go get.
Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. So.
Cool. I guess I'd say a little bit about my Panthers. Since we're moving from a 4-3 defense to a 3-4, I think we're really trying to scout somebody who can come on our defensive line. And I think because Julius Peppers, I think he'll be coming back next season for one more year. But I don't think that he'll be in a position to be starting every game. So I think if we had a first round pick, that Julius Peppers can kind of mold and help, that'll help us out.
You're going to need a linebacker. Huh? If you are going to run a 3-4 defense, you're going to run well. It's always a 3-4 defense is based off its linebackers.
Yeah.
The linemen are just there to kind of hold up the offensive line. That's really out there.
Still, if you can have a defensive line that can still get to the quarterback.
That's not.
But that's if you have a 4-3 defense.
That's if you have a 4-3.
Yeah, because the reason I know that is because we have a 3-4 defense and we've always had one.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, like when we had a really good defense in like the middle of the 2000s, like you never just kind of knew like the defensive line names. Like you always knew like of Lawrence Timmons. You always knew like Joey Porter. You always knew James Harris. Like those are the guys that get the sacks. Those are the guys who puts the pressure on the ball. So if you go run a 3-4 defense, it's always about the line. It's always about the linebackers and your corners.
We got pretty good linebackers, so I think we can make it.
And then you always hear this about a lot these days with edge rushers because a lot of teams are going to that 3-4 format. So if you're going to be running the 3-4, it's definitely going to fall heavy on your 2 inside linebackers and your 2 edge rushers that's going to be on the outside.
You got to be able to rush the passer with the 3-4 defense.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I think that's the goal, but I think defensive back may be interesting look for my Panthers as well.
And that's the other reason. That's the other thing of a 3-4 defense. If your linebackers ain't getting there, you better hope your corners can hold up.
Yep.
Exactly.
What if we try to move up to get, like you said, Greedy Williams? Because I do think he's the number 1 cornerback in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, then that's fine. That's something that you should do. But I hope the Steelers go get him. But I doubt that they will.
I think all our teams got the same needs.
Yeah.
Literally.
How you feel about being in Nashville, bro? Like, you ready?
Nah, yeah. Exciting experience.
Is it at Bristol Arena? Is that where it is?
No, it's on Broadway, the street right there in front of Tiger Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they've been having it outside lately.
Yeah, they're gonna have like a big.
Oh, okay,
big
cool. I didn't know if it was
party
gonna be
out
Bristol.
We play all this season, too.
Yeah, we play a lot of teams this year. We played Bryant, we played Cleveland, first game of the season.
Lost. Lost. Instant loss.
And my Steelers played a freaking.
And we got the Patriots' very first game.
Yeah, we got the
Y'all
Rams.
gonna knock them out. Y'all get worried about them later in the season.
We gonna knock who out?
No, say go and knock the game.
Oh, I was gonna say
we got New England, the very first game, in the most ultimate flex that New England can possibly wear. The day they're gonna raise their 6th banner against a team that also
You want to know
has.
why? Because it's going to be the last time they do it.
I hope so.
I hope so.
That's all I got to say.
I hope so, man.
Yeah, we play the Rams, so yeah, I'm pretty sure they're
You ain't
pissed.
got the trolling out yet.
Huh? Okay. Well, excuse me.
Anyway, move on to college recruiting. Go ahead, give Skyler. He want to talk about Memphis Tigers.
Finally, some good news I get to talk about.
Yes, let's do it.
Again, I said this last week. My Steelers suck. The Lakers suck. The Memphis Tigers and Tiger Woods. Look at it. They both work. The Memphis Tigers and
Shout out to Tiger,
are the
man.
only reasons I have a smile on my face every day.
Tiger does have another hit single on the radio too. Tiger. Say what?
I'm gonna say
That's
exactly what
out
I'm
of
thinking. I said,
nowhere.
Tiger Woods has a hit.
He was like, wait, Tiger Woods got a hit.
I
I thought you were talking about Tiger Woods.
Tiger's a rapper.
I realized that after the point, I was like, whoa.
Oh man, that is a sight I will pay to see. Tiger Woods spitting bars.
I wouldn't dare to see that. I wouldn't. No.
I would pay to see that.
But no, I don't think we've talked about the Tigers since the departure of Antoine Jones. For those who don't know, Antoine Jones has decided to be placed in the transfer portal, which is kind of interesting.
AKA the NCAA free agency pool.
There you go. Exactly. Good spin on that. So since then he's left. So it's kind of, I know Antoine Jones was your boy too. So sorry that he's leaving.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Shout out to Antoine Jones. Though.
Yeah, but I'll say this. I think with him leaving, that's a sign that the Tigers are going to get somebody. Not even just somebody. They're going to get at least 2 more big time recruits that they're in for. So right now, recruits that they're in for are Trendon Watford, who should be scheduled to announce soon. Lester Keonis, who he's scheduled to announce his date on
May 10th.
May the 10th. Preston Achua, who I think he's here this weekend.
Yep.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
So, yeah,
Monday.
he's a top 10 recruit. And then lastly, RJ Hampton, who is originally supposed to be
Hasn't reclassified yet, but
Yeah,
he's probably reclassified.
he's supposed to come out. He's supposed to be
next year.
He's supposed to be coming out next year, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, he's supposed to be going to college next year instead of this year. So, but like Sharky said, so he's reclassifying. He's probably going to take some classes this summer, just so that he can go ahead and go to a school. And right now he's heavily favored to go to Memphis. So it's really good. It's also refreshing to kind of hear that Memphis is they're in the hunt for all these really good players. Like, these aren't just like top 50 in the country. These aren't like top 100. Like, these are like top 10 recruits that not only just Memphis wants, but that Duke wants, that Kentucky wants, North Carolina wants. So that's refreshing to kind of know that the Memphis Tigers are in the running for those players. So I'm excited to see. I've already said that I'm getting season tickets for next year. And for me to get season tickets, as cheap as I am, that just means I'm super excited about the Tigers. So shout out to Penny Hardaway. Shout out to Mike Miller. Shout out to the entire coaching staff. Shout out to James Wiseman for recruiting some of these players. DJ Jeffries, of course, he can't go unnoticed as well too, because he
keeps getting forgotten.
Yeah, he keeps getting forgotten. I think it's going to be a really big signing for the Tigers. So I'm excited to see what this team looks like in the next couple of months.
I mean, I'm with you, man. Like, just the whole Tiger experience is about to go all the way up.
Yeah.
And especially with the potential of us having Lil Nas X come through. Like, that's going to be
nice.
Like I've been saying, man, Penny's been for the culture, and he hadn't stopped. He's like, after the season stopped, his season didn't stop. It just kept going. So he's showing that, and hopefully it all pays off very soon.
That's me. I won't get. I guess me. I don't get excited until I see a signing. I get frustrated with this. Oh, I'm with the May 10th. Oh, this. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to truly get excited until I actually see. Oh, he signed with Memphis, especially with Trent Walker. This whole news with him pushing him back. It's like, okay,
yeah.
Only thing with Memphis with me, we do need a veteran. Like we spoke about Auburn having a veteran guards. We need a veteran guard. And get all these young players that kind of scares me a little. But I think we're in the market to get like a transfer. We trying to get that guy from Little Rock. Arkansas Little Rock.
He gave Memphis buckets last
Ooh,
time.
yes, he did.
It's Rajon Tucker, Rajon Turner. I forgot his full name. But
From what school?
Arkansas Little Rock.
Remember they almost beat
Yeah.
The guard that was killing them.
Yeah. He coming?
It's a thought.
It's
He's taking a visit here, right?
Yeah.
His guard player is going to get dangerous.
Grad transfer.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
He'll be a senior, so that would be that veteran.
Definitely know what you're
experience.
talking about.
I haven't heard anything from LeJarrette Vick.
Yeah,
That's what
League or
That's what I'm waiting on right there.
So that's
Gerald Vick.
another possibility because he's from Memphis. But
he played on the Penny, right? Didn't he play on the Penny?
the AAU team?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Okay. I thought he did. Well, maybe that.
He may have. I had to do
But
research.
it's at least surprising they haven't reached out to him now. Or you hadn't heard anything on their behalf.
And another, I ain't heard anything about him.
We haven't heard from his camp either. Neither.
Since
So
he transferred.
yeah.
Since
So
he said he was going to transfer.
yeah. So we don't know.
I don't think he ever said he was transferring.
Or he just.
He's not. We just know he wasn't
just
coming
left
back
school.
to
Yeah.
Kansas.
Okay.
So
Gotcha. Okay.
we don't know if he's in the
Might go
free
to-
agency pool
might go
or
to
he
the
may
NBA
come out and go to the
draft.
NBA. So
Okay.
Yeah. But move on from that one to we had put out a poll question this past week about the best 6 man of all time. I tried to mix in a little old school players because of course we were young, so we didn't see, back in the day, so I had to get the old guys some credit. But,
the old guys.
Okay.
Oh man.
But Lou Williams won the poll by a landslide on both Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Jamal Crawford was second place on all polls except Twitter. Kevin McHale came second place on Twitter.
What?
But
Kevin McHale is a two-time
It's Kevin-
6 man.
I didn't know Kevin McHale was a 6 man.
Me neither.
No, you know,
Me neither.
let me stop right there because actually that shows the intelligence of the people that actually listen to our podcast. So I take that back. That back. Shout out to you.
But
Shout out.
knowing that Kevin McHale was a 6 man now, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
I guess it's Kevin McHale.
Right.
I say that because it's just bothering me that Jamal Crawford didn't win in any of them. Like, come on, Jamal Crawford is probably, in my opinion, a better player than Lou Williams.
Lou Williams got the most points all time as come out the bench.
I mean,
But
I get it.
I know what you're saying.
I get it with Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford
He's the only
changed
3-time
the
winner.
culture
So
as far
yeah.
as the crossover
Lou Williams
goes,
about to be a
too.
3-time winner.
And Lou Williams about to. Yeah, that's true. Lou Williams about to.
I mean, but at the same time, like Jamal Crawford, he changed the culture as far as the crossover go because I think that does have to do something with as far as like impacting the basketball period. Like what person wasn't trying to do a Jamal Crawford, crossover at some point in his career. You know what I'm saying?
true.
I think he should have been an all-star back when he was with New York. Probably like that year he averaged like 20.
Yeah.
And he averaged 20 like a few times. So,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't want this to be the last year that we've seen Jamal Crawford, but he may be one of those players, and he's the type to just quietly go out. So I hope this isn't the last time. But as far as 6 man of the year go, like this is a pure scorer that came off the bench, just like Lou Williams. But if you're asking me to pick which one I'd rather have, it's easily Jamal Crawford.
Well, since I went to all time, like I said, I didn't get to see all these players, but Vinny Johnson, it's kind of hard
Vinny
to go against
Johnson
him
from
with the Pistons.
the bad
Kevin
boy
McHale,
Pistons.
like I said, find out Kevin McHale was a 6 man now.
Yeah.
Kevin McHale was like.
I mean, but you got to think like a lot of these teams did have other players that were talented. You know what I'm saying? You say Vinny Johnson, but he was with the bad boy Pistons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody could have really, propelled them to the championship.
Yeah.
Kevin McHale, he's playing with the Celtics. Like it's the Celtics. They had teams. Jamal Crawford was just Jamal Crawford throughout his whole career.
I'm just saying, give you the.
I mean, even we can talk about
Yeah, you're
Ginobili.
thinking.
I mean, people say Ginobili too, which I have the
Ginobili.
most.
I'm surprised nobody. really came out and said Ginobili.
It's
I know it's a couple
pop
people,
system,
but I'm just
though. Like,
saying.
it's still pop system at the end of the day. Like, much credit to Ginobili for being like, you know what, I sit out, not even sit out, but start coming off the bench and helping. Like, shout out to him for being able to do that. But it was pop system at the end of the day. Like, Jamal Crawford is still. That's just my opinion.
James Harden for a year or two.
James Harden.
That's true.
They're just it's
that was a good time.
Dale Curry.
Yeah, Dale Curry
Think
was.
about all these
Yeah.
six. It just lets you know how important 6 man is.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then like most of these guys we're just naming have actually won the award, and there's a lot of great 6 men out there that didn't win 6 man of the year award. So
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
shout out to them.
Vinny Johnson.
Benny Johnson's one. Shout out James Posey. A lot of people who don't.
That's a name. That's a name.
A lot of
That boy
people
had them socks. He had some socks for you. That man had buckets and he had some socks.
Oh man,
Dog.
yeah. James Posey, a great 6 man. Of course, Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry,
Robert Ward, yeah.
great 6 man as well. So.
Yeah, Mike Miller did win one.
Mike Miller. Shout out to Mike.
He
Shout out to
sure
Mike
came, my
Miller.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing about it, I think for me the reason it's so difficult is because these 6 men at some point they kind of owned the 6 man award, right? Like I mean, there was a one point where it was only Ginobili, or there was a one point it was only Jamal Crawford. Like right now, we may be prisoner of the moment, but right now this award for 6 man a year is Lil Williams all day, every day.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's that's why I think it's such a hard thing to kind of decipher on who should win it.
And
I would say actually go on that. Eric Gordon won last year, and now he's starting this year. If he had come out the bench, then that would have been.
It'll have been another conversation. I was just about to mention that. Yeah.
Okay. So it's time for our famous troll or not.
Is you trolling? Is you trolling? Is you trolling? Is you trolling?
Yeah, might be. Yeah, might be. Yeah, might be. Yeah, might be. Yeah,
I guess I'll go first. So guys, I would like to bring everybody's attention to the whiteboard real quick. So Russell Wilson just got paid, right? But I want us to put out the obvious of who his wife is. And I mean this in the most respectful way possible. And if y'all think it's disrespectful, I don't care. So I want us to look back at the dating history of Sierra. We're gonna go from Bow Wow, 50 Cent, Amari Stoudemire, and Future.
She dated Amari Stoudemire?
She dated
she
Amari
did.
Stoudemire.
Wow.
He was actually in one of her music videos.
Yes,
What
he
video
was.
Oh, that's right.
The Ride song.
Okay, that's right. I remember that.
So my trolling out is, after signing this contract and seeing that your wife is Sierra, you're probably gonna not make the playoffs ever again for the rest of your career. That's my trolling out. Trolling out, Russell Wilson would not make the playoffs for the rest of his career. And before you all say, why not? Let me give a little background.
Come on, Mark.
So when Sierra started dating Bow Wow, they broke up like 2006. That was kind of like the end of Bow Wow's career. He came out with the Price of Fame that had Shorty Like Mine, and that was, I think, Bow Wow's last single.
It was only good because of Soulja Boy.
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
I was like, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Yeah, sorry.
Started dating 50 Cent. I'm not going to get into 50 Cent. We know what 50 Cent is. I'm not finna get into that because I don't need him trying to shoot me or troll me.
Shout out to 50. He's petty.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I'm not trying to have
hilarious.
no petty parties. So no. Nope. Not
Shout out to Phil.
Shout out to Phil.
Shout out to
Nope,
Phil.
not doing it. But I will pull up Amari Stoudemire. They broke up, and they dated in 2011. And in the 10-11 season, did pretty good. 25 points a game, 78 games.
Melo got traded there.
And then afterwards, he only played 47 games, averaged 17 points a game. Season after that, 14 points a game, only played 29 games. Started getting hurt.
Yep.
And then we're going to go to Future. We're still trying to figure out what's up with Future's career right now. His last album was straight. Thank God they're about to release what's it called?
What a Time to Be Alive
too with Drake. With Drake. So it's like trolling all. Russell Wilson would not make the playoffs again, but he may love it.
I mean, he made playoffs last year, so it's a troll.
Yeah.
I think it's
But he didn't get paid. He won the highest paid player in the league.
He made playoffs while he was married to a troll.
But hold on, what I'm saying is like this is gonna be the height of his career because he's not going to see this contract ever again.
I see where he's coming from because he's basing on he's basing on the Amari thing because remember when she started dating Amari, he had just signed that huge deal to come to New York, and he had a few good seasons.
So you
before he started getting hurt.
saying Sierra has a curse.
Sierra
I was just finna say that.
Sierra has a curse. Maybe it's a ring that helps. That's I hope
That's
so.
what I'm saying. That's
a good debate right there.
I'm not trying to hate, but for my trolling, I kind of came a little prepared with it.
That needs to be a next poll question.
Which
Which sports curse is like the worst?
They is next poll question.
Oh, nice.
Can Sierra? Nah, I don't want to put them on that one yet. But because it's already a trolling. I feel like I'm already doing the most right now. But at the same time, it's trolling all. And this let's be real. So let's be real, trolling all.
I'm gonna say troll because who knocked Seattle off to win the division? I guess LA again, possibly.
Yeah. Why not?
But they still can make playoffs.
They can still make the playoffs as a wild card. So
I'm going to say it's a troll only because I just really believe that much in Russell Wilson. I just think he's just that good.
I mean, I believed in Bow Wow growing up too, and we see what happened with him.
That was you.
Hold on, you was not finna disrespect.
Hold on. You gotta remember,
I'm only saying, like,
we have to remember we talking to the person that said like Mike was better than the Space Jam. So of course he's gonna bounce your Bow Wow. So
wait, to take that one back, Joe. Was I here?
Yes, you were here.
That was a long time.
That was a wild
First episode.
Yeah.
First started, man. We first started trolling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Golly.
Yep. That's what I feel.
Did everyone go? Because I now have a troll and all. And
I
say a troll.
It's a troll.
All right, so when Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks not make the playoffs, y'all will probably be looking at me like I'm crazy. But shout out to Sierra.
That means somebody else got hot in either the 49ers or
no, make the playoffs. I'm not trying to hear that. Make the playoffs. You made it last year. You want the highest.
He'll make the playoffs. Okay.
I'm saying he won't.
He will make the playoffs.
Lito?
Oh, so my trolling all. So I was on Twitter a couple of days ago, and there was a question that was presented, and Took answered it, by the way. Someone said Russ and a better quarterback is a better quarterback. Cam is way too inconsistent by throwing. Tab Shakir, by the way, quoted it and retweeted it by saying, "Yeah, Russ is a better quarterback, but overall talent in taking Cam. So you're taking Cam over Russell Wilson as far as talent is concerned."
Absolutely.
Troll and all is on the floor, guys.
I get what you're saying.
Troll and all is on the floor, guys.
Okay.
That at the end of the day, Russell Wilson is still a better quarterback than not Colin Kaepernick. I'm sorry, than Cam Newton. Sorry.
I mean, quarterback throwing the ball, yes, but just overall talent, overall winning. Like Cam hasn't had talent around him yet. Like his best wide receiver has been Steve Smith, and they hadn't been able to do that.
Steve Smith is better than Doug Baldwin.
Yes,
that's Russell Wilson.
I mean, but that was still at the beginning of Cam's career, though. Like now, his best receiver is I guess Greg Olsen. I guess DJ Moore now.
Receiver outside Doug Baldwin, and Doug Baldwin, if he goes anywhere else,
but Baldwin,
he's as good.
But Russ has always had Baldwin. Russ has always had, or not always, but he had Marshawn Lynch at the beginning of his career.
Saying
he had Richard Sherman and that defense for the beginning of his career. Yeah. So if it wasn't for that team, Cam Newton has literally put his whole team on his back and got us to a Super Bowl.
Newton had a good defense too.
That was just funny.
They had I love that defense. My thing is, if you want going against a retiring, keyword retiring, Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl, we have a Super Bowl by now. I'm not trying to hear nothing.
I give you that.
I'm not.
I give you that for that year. Yes, I give you that.
So as far as like throwing the ball percentages, I watch Cam Newton all the time. Half of the throws he do kind of overthrow, but half of the throws be on the money and they get dropped. Ted Ginn Jr. led when we went to Super Bowl, led us in touchdowns, and we know how crazy his hands were. Like that's my thing. Like we finally got talent around Cam, and I think we finna see another Cam Newton.
We said that last year.
I mean, but we were still young and our defense. He got hurt too. He played hurt too. He did play hurt too.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, the Steelers put a weapon on him.
He's still hurt.
He's coming back, but I don't think he'll be as bad as
he need to take the Andrew Luck route, man. I'm telling you.
I don't know.
I think Russell Wilson is a better player, but I still think Russell Wilson has still at the end of the day better talent than Cam Newton. Just because if you go, I think the biggest thing as a quarterback that you look for, one thing that teams look for in their quarterback is one, the ability to make the throw downfield. And me personally, like I just don't feel like Cam Newton brings you that. And so it's not only just him his inability to throw the ball downfield, but sometimes it's decision making. Sometimes it's when he should step out of bounds or when he should take a hit. And I just feel like there are a lot of times you don't question that with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson can give you the ball down the field. He knows when to step out of bounds. He knows how to protect himself. He's a great leader, and there are times and times again where his team is down in the fourth quarter and he brings that team back. And then like Sharky said at the end of the day,
He's done that a bunch of times too, though.
Yeah, but but which player has probably done it more?
Russell Wilson.
Look it up. You can while we're talking, I'm glad you can please look it up. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just think at the end of the day, I give you that Cam hasn't had that great of a wide receiving core, but Russell Wilson has Doug Baldwin, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's true.
And Doug Baldwin ain't even just like that good of a wide receiver.
That's what I was saying.
All right, I'll play devil's advocate here. So you mentioned the whole thing about awareness as far as knowing when to get out of bounds, knowing when to take a hit.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that is the two quarterbacks actually knowing when to do so, and how much of that is play calling? Because it was one point in time, and I was going to say this for Cam, where they called a lot of running plays for Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Like a crazy amount. This was before and after they drafted CMC. So how much of that do you feel is play calling by the coordinators and the coach, and how much of that is actually the players themselves knowing, okay, I can't take a hit here, I need to get out of bounds?
It's 50-50 because Cam is so big. Because Russell Wilson, his stature, you're not about to call running plays for him to run up the middle and truck people.
That's true.
Good question. And I'll say this. I think I agree with Sharky. I think it's 50-50. But I'll tell you this. I feel like if their coaching staff felt like Cam could throw the ball, they wouldn't call those plays.
Good point.
I really feel that way. I mean, because it's really like it's in a sense the same way they do with the quarterback from the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. If he could throw the ball well, if he could accurately throw the ball, they wouldn't continue to run the ball with. They wouldn't continue to run the ball with it because why? Because if you feel like your quarterback is that good, if you feel like your quarterback can make the throws down the field, why continue to put him in situations where you know he's gonna get hurt? Because it's something Colin Cowboy said a while ago, and I'm telling y'all gonna listen to this man because sometimes he says some off the wall stuff, but sometimes it's true.
Yeah. The Titans beat the Browns in week 1.
Yeah,
stay woke.
Yeah, but he brought up a good point, and he was like, "There's a difference when you see a quarterback that throws the ball 20 to 25 times a game, and when you see a quarterback that throws the ball 40, 45 times a game. Because if you have a quarterback that you only let the ball throw 20, 25 times a game, then you don't trust them." You trust the man.
We getting there. Huh? We getting there.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Well, technically, Russell Wilson throws about 20, 25 times a game.
So
that's not because they don't trust him.
Marshawn Lynch. So, I mean, that would have played a heavy part. But
I'm talking about even after Marshawn Lynch, because they rotated like 4 different running backs last year. It depends on your team, your system, the type, the personnel, all this stuff.
But to answer the question asked before, Russell has 17, Cam has 15. So, by not that much. Gotcha. But, I'll give it to you. Yeah, I do think that Cam Newton is a better talent than not a better, just like overall.
Yeah, talent wise, he's a better talent.
I mean, just as far as like quarterback, leaders, I think they hand in hand. They just lead different ways. You know what I'm saying? So they go hand in hand. As far as like throwing the ball, I give it to Russ. But as far as like running, Cam getting down. And I know it's kind of looking like that for Russ because he's smaller, but Cam can get down too.
Oh, we know that.
I think Russ is just as dangerous though.
I think Russell Wilson would have been a number 1 draft pick if it wasn't for his height.
Yep.
That's the reason Kyler Murray's kind of jumping up because they look at Russell Wilson. They're like, okay, short quarterbacks can make it. So
Russ had to walk so Kyler can run. I feel
there you go.
Because Russell Wilson was cold in college. I was looking like how he getting drafted in the 3rd round. I didn't realize he was that short. All right, great episode, guys. Number 33.
Hey,
number 3, we getting on up there.
Yes,
Arkansas number.
Hold on. On some woke stuff though. Jesus died when he was 33.
And today is Easter.
And today is Easter.
Hey, y'all rocking with us? Just let's go.
Yes,
that's all I got to say.
Let's go.
That's all I got to say.
Remember, we are powered by the Binge Podcast Network. Shout out to iHeartMedia and 1019 Kiss FM. You can listen to us on any podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at LBR Sports 901 and join the Facebook group at the Let's Be Real group. All right, in game this weekend along with the draft.
Stay off of social media.
If you do not see end game, best believe I'm talking about it Friday, and that is your fault because I'm seeing it Thursday.
Anyway, we out.
Peace.
Good episode. Once again.